Refuse my refund? See you in court. This is my first ever petty revenge, so hopefully it's petty enough to be here. This story is fresh off the petty press. Characters. Wife of my wife. Stacy, her friend, name changed. Scummy Hotel. Pleasant place, nice hotel. Sold man gotchas, my annoying credit card issuer. Backstory. In June 2021, wife and Stacy took a girls' trip to a certain beach town in the southern part of the USA. They were trying to keep costs low, so they rented a car instead of flying and booked a 4-night stay at Scummy on Booking.com, which required our payment method. Once they got there, in order to check in they had to sign multiple documents, provide their license plate, provide their driver's license, as well as pay a $100 damage deposit and provide our credit card info again. I guess Booking doesn't send over the credit card info for this property. They did all that and went to their room. Upon entering, they did not like the condition of the room. Hair all over the blankets, rust and mold on the fixtures, crayon on all the walls, etc. It was really bad. The original price of the stay was $378.60, but per the hotel's cancellation policy, we had to pay the first night stay due to canceling within 2 days, so our refund amount should have been $283.95. They canceled their stay with Booking.com and went to the front desk to confirm cancellation. The guy at the front desk stated that Booking.com would issue them their refund, but we paid on the property. Then shooed them out and locked the door since the office is closed. At this point it's well past 9 p.m. and wife and Stacy are in an unfamiliar town that they just drove 12 hours to get to with no place to sleep. I was able to book them last minute at Pleasant Place at 9:25 p.m., which they stayed at for the remainder of their stay. It was over $200 more expensive, but worth it. All in all, I had spent $863.85 in hotel accommodations. Just needed the refund for the previous hotel. Now for the revenge part. The revenge. Even though the transactions were still pending on my credit card, I went ahead and disputed them anyway. I provided Soldman Gatchas the original email and picture I took of the cancellation screen, as well as the cancellation policy that the hotel provides on Booking.com. Around 3 months later I get a notification that the dispute was not resolved in my favor due to having no evidence. That's odd, I know I submitted it. Okay, I'll dispute again. This time after I submitted my evidence, I called them to confirm they received it, which they did. Another 3 months later they notified me that the dispute was not resolved in my favor, but this time because Scummin had ample evidence that we did, in fact, stay there. Okay, it's game time now. I filed a third dispute, submitted even more evidence, and called them and explained the situation. That Scummin is providing documentation that we willingly provided prior to cancellation, and they need to request more documentation before issuing a judgment. Unfortunately, this didn't happen, and they still ruled this third dispute in Scummin's favor due to them providing the same evidence a second time. I tried to submit one more dispute, with all the evidence I could gather, and called Soldman Gatchas multiple times to ensure they were following through. In the end, they still refused to issue a favorable judgment. Next, I tried calling Booking.com to see if they can assist with a refund. They told me that since the cancellation policy on the website shows that I was allowed a refund, they would handle getting it to me and would go after the hotel themselves. However, each time I called back I got a different story until I Karened up and asked to speak to a supervisor. First time I'd ever done that in my life, who, in no specific words, told me I'm up creek without a paddle and there was nothing Booking.com could/would do. However, the only shred of good news was that I learned that hotels on their site are responsible for listing their cancellation policies, so whatever a hotel lists is binding at the time of booking. Armed with my petty AF attitude and the knowledge Booking.com gave me, I set out to file a small claims suit. Reader, don't be fooled. Small claims are not as easy as they claim to be. Certain states bury information or require so much that you have to dedicate time just to gather it all. Nonetheless, I managed to scrounge up all the documentation needed and filed my suit in May 2022. It was officially go time. I gathered everything, screenshots of Scummin's cancellation policy, all the photos that wife and Stacy took I could be used as evidence, videos, receipts, credit card statements, screenshots of texts and emails. I was even able to call Pleasant Place and get a copy of my invoice from them. It had been well over a year at this point. All that alone totaled 28 megabytes of data, which I know isn't a lot, but remember, it was just PDFs and screenshots, the largest file being a screenshot that was 2.5 megabytes. Most files were less than 900 kilobytes. Being that I live 10 to 12 hours away from the court based on traffic, I was able to upload all my evidence to the court case file and they agreed to swear me in via phone. About an hour ago, from the time I'm typing this, the court called me. I was sworn in and then explained everything, the cancellation, the conditions and treatment at Scummin, the credit card disputes, and how I wasn't requesting a full refund, just the portion that we are owed. We had to pay that cancellation fee, after all. It felt like a weight was finally lifted off my shoulders. Someone is finally listening to me who can actually do something. Then it came time for Scummin to tell their side. They claimed that they had no documentation we actually checked out because they don't have the paperwork, so they can't prove anything other than what's on paper. That was literally all they had to say. How did Soldman Gatchas not just side-eye that? The judge then asked both of us a series of questions including how much the stay per night was, who was the person working the front desk, do I have any other evidence to enter besides what I've already submitted, etc. After everything was said and done, the judge sided with us. During this process, the guy representing Scummin decided it would be smart to try and tell the judge that Soldman Gatchas already denied our dispute 4 times, to which the judge replied the credit card company isn't the court, I am. I don't care what the credit card company said, it's clear they did not stay at your hotel. Nice one, scum in, add fuel to the flames. Because this is a small claims suit, there are extra fees that have to be paid by the defendant, including the fee to serve court documents and the fee to file the petition to sue. Because I won, I'm owed all that back plus post-judgment interest. So now, I'm just waiting for Scum in to pay me my $283.95 plus $129 in court fees, plus 7.5% post-judgment interest, for a grand total of $413.07. They likely won't pay, and I'll have to file a judgment, but at least it gives me more petty revenge to add to this story. Hopefully you enjoyed the read. I know it's not as good as others, but I've been waiting for the day I could finally post this. TLDR 2 years, dozens of phone calls, a couple good cry sessions, and one lawsuit later, I finally got a Scummy Hotel to refund me $300. Thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I post Reddit content daily.